All right, so examples. For the points P and Q, find the distance between P and Q and the coordinates of the midpoint of the line segment PQ. So we're going to be doing distance and midpoint. So 18, P is -8, 4. Q is 3, -5. So distance is equal to the square root of 3 minus -8, so +8 squared plus -5 minus 4 squared. So, and it just for reference, it doesn't matter which point you pick to be x1 and like which one you pick to be x2 because you're squaring it, so the number's going to come out to be the same regardless if it's, yeah, anyways. So 11 squared plus -9 squared. So is that 121? Well, not 181. Hello. 121 plus 81. Was it the square root of 202? And you can just leave it like that. You don't have to like break it down. I'd rather you just leave it that way. Then the midpoint, we would have -8 plus 3 over 2 and 4 plus -5 over 2. So that's going to be -5 over 2 and -1 over 2, your midpoint. Do y'all need to see another one of those? Because we're going to have other problems where we're using the distance formula, but I think these are the only ones where we're using the midpoint. So if y'all are okay with that, then that's all I'm going to do of those type.
No, it looks pretty easy. Like, I mean, just...
We did everything all right.
Yeah. And probably down all the way to Algebra 1, so. But the next problems are, like, taking this, like, a step farther, so that's why I just wanted to make sure that we're good with it before. We're going to do a lot more with distance formula. That's the only thing that's with midpoint, though. Okay, so then the next one say, determine whether the 3 points are the vertices of a right triangle. Okay, so we're going to have to find the distance between, so we're going to have 3 distance formulas that we're going to find. And then we're going to have to take the values and do a squared plus b squared equals c squared and make sure that it's true. So, number 26. First point, -2, -5. Next one, 1, 7. And the last one is 3, 15. So I'm going to call these A, B, and C. So the distance from A to B, set up, what would that be?
Plus 2. It's plus, or squared, plus 7 plus 2, plus 5 squared.
Yep. So then this is 3 squared, so that's 9, plus 12 squared is 144. That's the square root of 153. And I, again, would just leave that like that because it'll be easier, I think, to see it once we do the next one. Or like when we're going back to check it at the end. The distance from B to C. Let me set that one up.
3 plus 1
Minus. The other one was plus because it was minus a negative. That's what she just said plus on the last one.
Oh, minus 1 squared plus 5 minus 7.
15.
15. Yep, there's a lot there, but
You just like 5 too much.
Yeah.
So the square root of 2 squared, so it's 4, plus 8 squared is 64. So the square root of 68. And then we need to do the distance from A to C. So we set that one up.
Ethan, your turn.
3 plus 2 squared plus 15 plus 5 squared.
So that gives us the square root of 5 squared to 25 plus 20 squared. It's like 400, right? So the square root of 425.
Okay.
So now we need to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared and see what happens. So we should make an assumption that this is c because it's the biggest number we have. So 150 or the square root of 153 squared plus the square root of 68 squared equals the square root of 425 squared. So 153 plus 68, because the squared and the square roots just cancel, equals 425. So 221 equals 425. So is that a right triangle?
No.
No. Now, if it came out to be equal, it would be a right triangle. Do y'all feel like you need to do another one of those? Or are we okay? We're good. Ethan, you good? Okay, great. All right, next one. Determine whether the 3 points are collinear. Okay, so we're going to have the distance. Okay, so it's going to be like this. We're going to have 3 points. So we're going to have to find the distance between each of them like we just did with the triangle. And then we're adding them up to see if it's equal to the 2 shorter ones are equal to the whole. So, 32. -1, -3, -5, 12, and 1, -11.
Should still have to do the 30 things.
Yeah. So I'm going to A, B, and C. So the distance between A and B would be what? Whoa.
-5 plus 1 squared plus 12 plus 3 squared. So -4 squared, so that's just 16 plus whatever 15 squared is. I don't know what that is.
I don't know that one off the top of my head. Anybody know 15 squared off the top of their head?
Not off the top of my head.
It's gonna be like around 300.
Isn't it like
I think it's like maybe 225,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
225.
15 times 15. Okay, it is 225.
16 squared, like,
169. Yeah. I know like 13 and then I know like 20 and then I was like, wait a second. I think I was doing like the 2 5s at the end. I was like, well, that would give me a 5, so I'm assuming it's something like
so
2.
it's probably like an easy way to remember. It's like 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9. So 1 it's like plus 3 is 4, plus 5 is 9, and plus 7 when you square root 4, plus 9 when you square root 5, and so on.
Huh. Interesting.
That's the square root of 241.
You said 241.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a perfect square. I don't think so.
No, it's not.
All right. Distance between B and C.
1 plus 5 squared plus negative 11 minus 12 squared.
So it's going to be 36 plus, oh goodness. I'm just going to figure that out real quick. 23 squared is 529. So that is the square root of 565. And then the distance between A and C is what?
1 plus 1 squared, negative 11 plus 3 squared. So 4 plus 64. 60.
So in theory, if they're collinear, then the two smaller ones should be equal to the bigger one. So I would just, at this point, use your calculator and see. So the square root of, help if I turn it on. Square root of 241 is 15.52. The square root of 68 is 8.25. And then the square root of 565 is 23.77. So 8.25 plus 15.52 should be equal to 23.77. So 8.25 plus 15.52 is 23.77. So those are equal. So they are collinear.
If they're not equal, what is it?
They're just not collinear.
Okay, that's easy too. Is this an easy section?
I'm not really doing anything else with this section because there's not really anything else that needs to be covered in this section that's like super important. So I was gonna say I think we're probably good. So the other ones are like find an ordered pair that's a solution to the equation, and you can pretty much just do it whatever you pick. So I think we're good on that. The only other thing is they give you a midpoint and an endpoint, and they want to know the other endpoint, and nah. So it's just you don't. It's fine. All right.
Should be nice and not give us much.
I won't. Don't worry.
I feel like 5 probably, that seems great.
15,
Oh, I thought it said 15 probably.
23, 27, and 33.